Hi everyone, my name's Tom and welcome to my very first yoga class on my yoga YouTube channel, Tom Yoga Om. Today's yoga class is really about getting ourselves into the swing of things after coming back from a holiday break. So I had about 16 days off and that just stiffened my body right up. So what I'm looking to do today is to start us off slow and then build ourselves up into a full stretch where we get that full benefit from the yoga simply by going deeper a little tiny bit with each breath that we take in and out. So I hope that you enjoyed this class and let's get into it. First thing that we're going to do is start by sitting ourselves at the top of the mat. If this is uncomfortable for you, if your knees or your hips are quite tight, then I'd like you to sit on your heels and your knees like so. Otherwise, just come and sit up onto your sit bones. And first things first, just press down into your feet, your sitting bones. Bring your hands to a comfortable position and take a big breath into your belly and into your chest. And as you exhale, sigh out of your mouth and let everything kind of drop and release. Let's just take 4 more deep breaths in and out like that. So breathing down deep into the belly, feel it rise up and out. Don't forget the chest as well. And exhale out of the mouth with a sigh. Just letting go of your day. 2 more breaths. Big breath in. And out. And last one. Really breathe it in this time. Biggest breath you've taken all day. And exhale. Good. You can either close your eyes or look down at the floor with a soft gaze. And start to breathe into the belly, but keep the breath running in and out through the nostrils. Let the belly rise out, breathe into the chest, and imagine that you're growing height into that spine. You're creating a bit of space in the vertebrae on the inhale. And as you exhale, relax your shoulders, your neck, all the muscles of your face. And again, on the inhale, just breathe into the belly, breathe into the chest, rising up. Gaining a bit of height, a bit of space, and exhale to soften. 1 more smooth breath in and out like that. And exhale. Good. On your next breath in, can you walk your hands out to the sides? And we're going to take 3 more breaths here. Creepy crawl, spider crawl your hands out. We call them creepy crawlies when we're kids. Spider crawl your hands out to the sides, just to stretch at the top of your neck. And again, breathe into the belly, breathe into the chest, and see if you can lift the chest up a little bit taller. On the inhale, as you exhale, soften your shoulders and your neck. And just check in with how you're doing today. So notice how your physical body's doing. Is there any injury or tightness that you're bringing into the practice today that you just need to be aware of? If there is, just take a deep breath into that space, just becoming aware of it. Giving a little bit of room on the inhale, softening it on the exhale. Just take 1 more big breath in and out here. Good, and then bring your hands to heart center and take 3 more breaths like this. And then we get into the yoga class. And I just want you to take a moment to tune into your heart center, or maybe your mind, and notice what you bring into the class, into this moment right now. Is there any tension or anything that you need to be aware of in this moment? Maybe there's something that has brought you to this yoga class, to this practice. I know yoga has gotten me out of a whole bunch of mental pickles and dilemmas. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's what you don't need. So without confusing you anymore, just breathe into your heart, breathe into your soul and your mind, and just ask yourself why you're here today. And maybe set a little intention for yourself. to ground yourself into this space, into your room, to wherever you're at. And then take one more big breath in and out to kind of inhale it and solidify it within yourself today. Nice. Good. After that exhale, walk your hands out to the sides again. As you breathe in, I want you to reach your arms up and stretch them up towards the ceiling or the sky. And exhale, reach your hands out to the sides and bring them down onto the floor. 2 more breaths like that. So reaching up as you breathe in, getting that length and that space. And exhaling, bring your hands down. Last one. See if you can relax your shoulders this time as you extend up through the hands. And exhale to bring them down. Good. From here, just take a breath in, reach your arms up again. And as you exhale, bring your right hand onto your left knee, your left hand behind you, and move the left part of your rib cage back. So instead of twisting from the lower body, I just want you to move the left part of your rib cage back, looking over your left shoulder. If your neck feels okay, you can look back even more. If it doesn't, just look to the left side of the room and breathe into the belly and the chest and lift the chest up tall as you inhale. And as you exhale, press your right hand into that left knee to twist a little deeper. Let's take one more big breath in and out here. And exhale, twist a little deeper. On your next breath in, just turn your head to face the front of the room or to face the front of the screen. Drop your right shoulder down to your right knee and keep your left heel grounded, or left hip grounded. Take a couple of deep breaths into that left side of the lower back. Feel that expand as you inhale into the belly and the chest. And as you exhale, can you relax that space? So again, inhaling, creating space. And exhaling, relaxing. When you're ready, just sweep your arms out in front of you and fold yourself forward. Tuck your chin, soften your back, and take 3 deep breaths. And take some time to settle in here, to ground in, and don't worry about reaching forward with your hands. Just worry about your breath. That's it. One more big breath in and out. When you're ready, press down to your feet and your sitting bones. Spider walk your hands out in front of you and then sweep them up as you breathe in. And exhale your left hand onto your right knee, right hand behind you for a twist. Breathe into the belly and the chest to lift your chest up nice and tall. And as you exhale, looking over that right shoulder, if it's okay for the neck, see if you can relax your shoulders a little bit as well. One more big breath in and out here. Exhaling, pressing that left hand into that right knee, twisting a little deeper. And then turning your head back to the front of the room and dropping your left shoulder down to your left knee, nice and gently. And then breathing into the right side of the lower back. And again, breathe into that space. Feel it expand as you bring your breath down into your belly. And feel that space soften as you exhale. One more breath in and out here. And exhaling. Good. This time we're just going to sweep our hands out to the sides and then bring them up to the ceiling or sky. And then bring your hands down onto the floor and onto your knees. And let's do 3 gentle cat-cow. So as you breathe in, lift your chest up, breathe into your belly. Feel those spaces expand. And on the exhale, I want you to tuck your chin and drop your back behind you. Kind of let your shoulders relax. That's it. 2 more like that. So inhaling, lifting up nice and tall. And as you exhale, just drop your back behind you. And you're kind of taking this time now. We're moving slow. Just to check in with the spine. How does it feel to do this? How does it feel around the shoulder blades? And around the neck. Last one here. Good. And when you're ready, come back to the top of your mat. And from here, we're just going to swing ourselves onto the long side of our mats, pull the toes back towards us and bring our hands beside our hips, fingertips pointing towards the feet. And instead of collapsing down like this, I want you to press down into your hands as much as you can and kind of lift your neck away from your shoulders. Take a big breath in and pull your toes back towards you. And as you exhale, point your toes, stretching the tops of your feet. Oh, I feel it today. Pull your toes back towards you, breathing in. And exhale, point the toes. That's it. And it's okay to have a bend in the knees if you'd like. Last one. Big breath in. And big breath out. Good. Come back to center. Bring your feet together, coming into butterfly pose, Baddha Konasana. And from here, create a bit more of a diamond shape with your legs so your feet are not so close to your hips. Hands onto the ankles and take a big breath into the belly and the chest. And as you inhale, reach your chest forward and let that fold that you're about to do be guided by the chest instead of the head. Once you start to feel the stretch either in the legs or the hips or the lower back, hold there and just allow your body to round. It doesn't matter how low you go. Fold over your legs. Let your neck and your shoulders relax and take 2 deep breaths into that spine of yours. And exhale to soften. Last one. Breathe it in. And exhale to soften. Good, and then press into your feet. Spider crawl your hands out in front of you. And again, inhale, lift yourself up nice and tall. And exhale your hands through heart center. Good. From here, we're going to cross the ankles over, come onto our hands and knees into a tabletop position. And we're going to do 5 cat-cows, like you've probably done before. And we're going to start real small. So we're just going to do little cat-cows. As you breathe in, just drop your belly button down a little bit. Open your chest up and lift your chin just a tiny, tiny bit. And as you exhale, press down into your hands and your feet and round your back up towards the ceiling or sky. Tuck your chin and let your head fold. On your next breath in, you're going to breathe into the belly more, breathe into the chest more, lower the belly and the chest closer towards the ground, just a little bit more. And as you exhale, press the floor away from you a little more than last time. And on that third breath, more. Just take it a little bit deeper. You can start to engage the arms and the feet and the knees and the legs and the hips and the shoulders. And exhale to press the floor away from you, using strength now. Getting all of the air out. 2 more. Really breathe it in. Opening up and exhaling, rounding the other way. Again, just being mindful of whatever your body is feeling right now. Knowing not to take it to that point of pain, just so long as you feel a stretch, you're in that right space. Breathe it in and exhale, breathe it out. Good, and then come back to center nice and slow. And from here, we're just going to step our right foot back, maybe move the heel forwards and backwards to stretch the hamstring. And then step that left foot back and do the same thing, pedaling your knees out left to right. And try not to collapse into your shoulders if you can help it. Lift your back up towards the ceiling or sky. And if this is too much for you, just drop your knees down to the floor. Otherwise, we're going to hold for 3 breaths. This is a great way to build the strength in your core, which are the muscles around the center of the body, both in the front and the back. And you're probably going to start to sweat like me. I'm feeling that heat right now. We're just going to breathe through it. You can press your heels back behind you and get the thighs engaged. It'll help you practice a lot. And really press down into the knuckles and the fingertips of the hands rather than the heels of the hands. 2 more breaths. Keep breathing. You got this. Keep pressing down. Last one. And on your exhale, just bend your knees a little bit, press into your hands and come back into your first down dog. Now, I don't know about you, but after my holiday break, I'm really feeling these down dogs, especially in the hamstrings and that lower back. Did a road trip and did lots of driving. And so all that lower half of the body just really became quite stiff. Something that really helps me is to bend the knees left to right and just slowly stretch it out. Just kind of testing how it feels. Probably making lots of sound on the mat. Good. And when you're ready, just ground your heels down and take a big breath in. Press into the fingers and knuckles of your hands rather than the heel of the hand. And just lift your heels up off the floor. Lift your hips up.
Breathe it in. And as you exhale, ground your heels down. It's okay to bend your knees. Stretch into those hamstrings. 4 more breaths. Breathe it in, lifting up. And exhale, grounding down. 3 more. Breathe it in. And exhale, ground it down. 2 more. And exhale, ground it down. And last one, really reach up, press into your hands, press into your feet and your toes. Maybe lift up on top of the toes and then ground it down. Good. Bend those knees left to right, work on any kinks that are built up. And then lift your left leg up, press the heel back behind you. You can have a look back to see that the toes are pointing on the floor. You can't see it because there's a curtain here. And then step that foot forward to the top of the mat. Drop the back knee to the floor. Come up onto your fingertips to begin with. And make sure that your left knee is above your left ankle. And let's start by flattening that back foot out. That'll protect your knee a little bit. And then breathe into the hips and lift them backwards. And on your exhale, I want you to drop the hips down to a point that feels good for you, where you feel a nice stretch. Let's do that again. Inhale, reach the hips back. And exhale, sink the hips down. And inhale, reach the hips back. And exhale, sink those hips down. Good. Now kick into that back foot. Press down into the front foot and sweep your arms up as you breathe it in. And as you breathe out, sink those hips down. Good. This time we're focusing on the breath into the belly and the chest. So inhale into the belly and the chest as you lift up. And exhale, sink down. 2 more. Inhale, breathe it in. And exhale, sink it down. And last one, breathe it in. And on your exhale, sweep your hands down to the floor. Good. And then I want you to lift your back knee off the mat and ground your right heel down onto the floor. I want to change sides so you can see me. You bring your left elbow onto your left knee, right hand onto your hip, and press down into that left elbow so that you're not collapsing. Lift your right arm up. And as you exhale, extend it out in front of you. Good. Inhale, lift your right arm up. Look up towards that right hand if it's okay for the neck, and relax your shoulder, your right shoulder, as you extend. Try to find the stretch all the way from that right foot to the right hand, and just breathe. Inhaling, creating space in that right side of the body. Exhaling, extending and stretching that space. 2 more breaths. And exhale. And last one. And exhale. Good. We're going to windmill that right arm back behind us. Sweep our left arm up and try and keep the lower half of your body the same. Sometimes we want to straighten that front leg. If you want to, you can. I like to keep it bent. Lift your left arm up and reach it back behind you. And then windmill everything back to the top of the mat. Stepping back into your first plank. Second plank rather. Drop your knees to the floor. Move your shoulders beyond the wrists. And then lower yourself down onto the floor. That's it. Press your feet down into the mat. And engage the muscles of your belly here so as not to bend into that lower back. Breathe it in as you lift your chest up for a cobra or a mini cobra. And as you exhale, lower down. We're going to do 2 more. Inhale, lifting up. Engaging your core. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and down. And exhale, lower down. This last one, really focus on your breath. Breathe it in. And exhale down. Good. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips off the floor. And then straighten your arms. Meet back in downward facing dog. Bend those knees left to right. I'm changing sides again. I didn't plan it out that well. And from here, take a big breath in. Lift your right leg up. Press the heel back behind you. Point those right toes down towards the floor. And then inhale. And as you exhale, step that right foot forward to the top of the mat. Drop the back knee to the floor. Come up onto the fingertips. Now again, treat both sides differently. Individually rather. Notice that they're different, and you might be dominant on one side, so that means it might be more open or less open. And so you really just want to take the time here to notice how it feels to sink those hips down, so as not to overstretch them. right knee above the right ankle. Inhale, lift the hips back. And as you exhale, sink your hips down. Find that nice stretching sensation. Nice and slow. You don't need to go too deep. 2 more. Breathe it in. And breathe it out. Sink the hips. And last one. Breathe it in. And exhale. Sink those hips down. Good. Kick that back foot into the floor. Press that right foot down and sweep your arms up on the inhale. Again, breathing into the belly and the chest. And exhaling, sinking the hips. And inhaling, breathing into the belly and the chest. And exhale, sinking down. And really use your feet here. So you can just lift up lazily like this, but if you engage those feet, you'll be working muscles and get more out of the class and the practice in your poses and yoga. So when you're ready, press down to those feet, breathe it in, last one. And as you exhale, sweep those hands down onto the mat, tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee off the floor, and drop that left heel down. Bring your right elbow onto your right knee, and press into the edge of that left foot. A leaf. Lift your left arm up, and as you exhale, extend it out to the top of your mat. That's it. Now, a little tip, a little trick to get you looking up towards the ceiling, and the reason we do it is because we're trying to extend out through the whole spine, and sometimes when you drop your head, you're essentially dropping the spine at the neck area. So we want to look up, keep the spine nice and long. If you'd like, you can take your left hand behind the back of your neck and look towards your left bicep, and you're kind of cupping the back of your neck here. Looking up, instead of reaching out through the hand, you're just reaching out through the elbow. Got a bit of support there. Take a big breath in. Breathe into the left side of the body, creating space. And exhale, extending through that left elbow, that left foot. Or maybe you'd like to extend the hand. 2 more breaths. Do what feels right for you. And last one, breathe it in. And exhale. Sweep your left arm back behind you. Swing your right arm up and reach it back for reverse warrior. And then we're windmilling our hands back to the top of the mat. Stepping back into a plank and lowering down. Use your knees if you'd like. Move your shoulders beyond your wrists and lower yourself all the way down onto your belly. Press your feet down into the floor. Hands underneath the shoulders. And inhale to lift yourself up. Breathe it in. Exhale, lower down. Engage your core. Inhale, lifting up. Roll your shoulders back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Reach your chest forward. And exhale, lower down. And last one, really breathe it in. And lower down. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips up off the floor. And straighten your arms. Meet back in downward facing dog. Alrighty, from here, all we're going to do is inhale, lift the heels and the hips up off the floor again. And as you exhale, ground them down just like before. Good. And then your option here, you choose how you want to make your way to the top of the mat. I like to take these big, exaggerated steps just to really stretch the hamstrings out to make it to the top of the mat into a forward fold. Bring your hands onto your thighs and just start with a halfway lift. So you're pressing into your thighs and lengthening your spine. Some people like it on the shins. And as you exhale, bend your knees, tuck your chin and fold yourself down. Keep your knees bent. That's it. We're going to do that 2 more times. So halfway lift, breathe it in. Breathe into your belly, breathe into your chest. And as you exhale, bend your knees, fold yourself down. Good. For this last one, can you breathe it into your belly and your lower back and your chest and your upper back? Inhaling, extending. And exhaling, folding down. Now let your hands soften onto the mat or onto the floor out in front of you. And breathe and soften. If your neck feels okay, you can do a couple of yeses and nos with your head. And sometimes it feels nice to sway the arms or the hips from side to side. If you are swaying the arms, hold on to the elbows. Keep a bend in the knees for now. And exhale, sink a little deeper. Good. Keep breathing here. We're going to come up in a moment. And when we do that, I want you to engage your belly muscles. This will protect your lower back and ensure that you don't injure yourself. Well, it doesn't ensure it. I shouldn't say that. But it helps prevent injury in that lower back as you lift up. So start by bending your knees. And on an inhale, I want you to tuck your belly in towards your spine. This will engage your core where you need it to engage. Bring your hands to your hips. And as you breathe in, arch your back and lift your chest up into a standing position. Exhale to relax. How did that feel? Hopefully good. Good. Feet hip distance apart. Inhale, sweep the arms up as you inhale. And as you exhale, sweep them down. Ground down into your feet. 2 more. Inhale, sweeping up. And exhale, sweep them down. And last one, really breathe it in. Reach up as much as you can, with as much space as you can. And then exhale, sweep them down. Good. From here, we're going to inhale, lift our arms up. And this time I want you to bring your left hand onto your left thigh, your right hand onto the back of your neck, and you're cupping the back of your neck, like so. So you're supporting it. Then you're looking towards your right bicep, and you're going to inhale and extend your right arm up. And as you exhale, press down into your feet, creating that nice strong anchored base. And slide your left hand down your left leg. Once you feel a nice stretch in that right side, hold there. And press that left hand into that left thigh. Keep extending that right arm up. Keep looking towards that right bicep. And take 2 deep breaths in and out. Breathe it in. Breathe into the belly. Breathe into the chest, especially on that right side. And exhale. Maybe you go a little deeper with that left hand. And inhale, extend it up, create that space. And exhale, slide it down if you'd like. Good. Inhale, come back to center, reach both arms up once you're there. And bring your right hand onto your right thigh, left hand onto the back of your neck, like so. And then look towards your left bicep. Inhale, reach your left elbow up. As you exhale, slide your right hand down your right thigh. Inhale, extend your elbow up. Exhale, slide that hand down. That's it. Press the hand into the thigh. Press your feet down. Last one. Breathe it in. Feel that stretch in the side body. It's so hard to get to in everyday life. We don't really use it so much. Well, we use it all the time, but we don't really stretch it so much in our day-to-day lives. And inhale, come back to center. Reach both arms up. And as you exhale, bring your hands behind you, interlace your fingers behind your back and reach them behind you. Squeeze your shoulder blades together as you lift your chest up. Breathe into your belly. And on your exhale, bend your knees and fold yourself down. Keep your hands connected. Just hold here. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, let your hands hang above your head. That's it. If you can't quite get them there, just bring them onto your back. Take a hold of your forearms. Let your head hang. And then take one more big breath in. As you exhale, bring both hands onto your lower back, and I want you to bring your palms onto your lower back, onto your lumbar spine, that lowest part of your back. Good. Breathe into your belly and into your hands. And as you inhale down to the belly and into your hands, feel your hands open up with the breath. Feel space being created in that space where your hands are placed. Feel it soften on the exhale. 2 more breaths here. So breathing into those hands, feeling them move and open up. And exhale, sinking. And last one, bend those knees, by the way. And exhale. Good. Then release your hands down to the floor. Step back into your plank. And come back into a downward facing dog. Bend your knees left to right. And stretch out your hamstrings once again. And when you're ready, first breath in, we're going to reach that left leg up, ground down to the right heel. And this time we're bending that left knee and lifting our left hip up and moving our left foot out to the right side. Now, as you can probably see here, if you're looking at the screen, my left shoulder is lifted. That tends to happen. See if you can drop your left shoulder down to square the shoulders to the top of the mat. Take a big breath in. Find a stretch from the left fingertips to that left knee. And as you exhale, step the foot forward to the top of the mat. I'm going to change sides again. I really didn't think about the sides, even though I made a note. Drop the back knee to the floor. Sweep the arms up as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, I want you to bring your hands onto your hips. Tuck the back toes under if they're not, and lift your back knee off the floor. We're going to focus on the breath. Breathe into the belly and the chest. And as you exhale, sink the hips and that back knee. And inhale, breathe into the belly and the chest. And as you exhale, sink that back knee. If you'd like, you can sweep your arms up for this last one. Breathe it in, reach it up. And exhale, sink your hips and that back knee. Good. Inhale, lift it up here. And on your exhale, we're going to tilt our bodies forward into an arrow pose. Hold for a big breath in and out here. Reach through that back heel. Reach out through those fingertips. And then inhale, sweep that right arm back behind you. Bend that left knee and come into your warrior two. Extend out through both hands, especially out through those middle fingers. Breathe it in. And as you exhale, relax your shoulders. Bend your knees even more. 2 more breaths. And exhale. And last one. And exhale. Good. Bring both hands onto your hips. Straighten that front left leg. And take your left hand onto your left shin. Walk your back foot to the halfway point in your mat. And then bring your right arm up as you reach up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, you have the option to stay here. I'm feeling it today. Or you can take the back of your left hand onto the inside of your left shin. Look up towards your right hand if it feels okay for your neck. If not, look down. And as you exhale, press the back of your hand into the shin to twist your body up towards the ceiling. Kind of opening up the right side of your body. Take one more big breath in. And as you exhale, bring that right hand onto your right hip. Look down at the floor, left hand onto the shin. Step that right foot even closer to that left leg. Should be about 3 feet between them. And take both hands onto the hips now. And just drop your right hip down. You should feel that stretch in that left hamstring. And then lift yourself up. Good. We're coming into pyramid pose. Now the point here is to stretch the underside of your hamstring a little bit deeper. So when we come down, we're going to feel it pretty fast. Now, depending on your flexibility, you may or may not need support, but you really don't want to push past any stretch into pain. So you just want to find that edge where it still feels good to stretch into the hamstring rather than it hurting. So we'll start by bringing our hands onto our hips, breathing into our belly and our chest. And as you exhale, move your hips back, move your chest forward. Don't worry about the head so much leading the charge. It's really about the chest here. And when you feel the stretch, just hold there. Doesn't matter how low you go. Hands can stay on the hips or bring them onto the thighs. And just drop your head and breathe. And exhale, soften your shoulders. Allow your back to round so long as that front leg feels nice and stretched and feels safe. And you're doing okay. And last breath in and out. Good. And then bend that front knee. We've got one last little hard pose here. No one's favorite, Utkatasana chair pose. We're going to step that back foot forward and sweep our hands past our feet to lift our arms up. And as you exhale, sink your hips back and reach your hands out in front of you. Take another big breath in. And exhale, sink back. Reach your hands out in front of you. See if you can tuck your belly towards your spine to flatten your back. Last breath in. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift on the inhale. And as you exhale, you might like to keep the legs straight as you slowly fold yourself down and notice the difference in those hamstrings as you do so. Relax your head and your neck. Relax your shoulders and keep breathing. And then inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, bend those knees, fold yourself down, step your hands onto the mat and come back into your plank pose. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lower yourself down nice and slow. Use your knees if you need to. Inhale for your cobra or your up dog. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and down. And exhale, lower yourself down. Just doing one now. Tuck your toes under, lift the hips off the floor. And straighten your arms, and then let's meet in downward facing dog. And then inhale, lift your right leg up. And as you exhale, bend that right knee, move that right foot out to the left side, and drop your right shoulder down to square the hips. And breathe here. Finding the stretch from those right fingers to that right knee. Really press down to your right hand, reach your right knee back, breathe it in. And as you exhale, step that foot forward to the top of the mat. And now changing sides. Tuck those back toes under. And then from here, we're going to inhale, lift our arms up and bring our hands down onto our hips. Good. When you're ready, lift the back knee off the floor and lift your hips up. And then exhale, bend the back knee and sink your hips down. Breathe into the belly, into the chest. 2 more. And exhale, sink down. And last one, breathe it in. And exhale, sink down. Good. Inhale, sweep your arms up. And as you exhale, tilt your body forward. Press that left heel back behind you. We're almost there. Reach out through your fingertips. Take a big breath in. A big breath out. And then sweep that left arm back behind you. Drop the back heel to the floor and come into your warrior 2. Extend out through the fingers on both sides. Bend that front knee a little more. And relax your shoulders. Just breathing. Last one. Breathe it in. And breathe it out. Good. Straighten that front leg, hands onto the hips. Step the back foot into the halfway point in the mat, or a little closer rather. And then from here, you're going to slide your right hand down onto your right shin. Lift your left arm up for triangle pose. Inhaling and exhaling, maybe sinking the hips a little bit further back behind you. Reaching both hands in both directions. And then taking the back of that right hand onto the inside of that right leg and pressing the hand into the leg and turning that left part of your torso up towards the ceiling or the sky, depending on where you are. Good. As you do this, can you press into that back foot and engage that left thigh? Keep your base nice and strong. And then lift your left arm up. Take one more big breath in. And then exhale, bring that left hand onto that left hip. Turn your body forward, bend the front knee, and lift yourself up. Step that back foot into the halfway point in your mat, about 3 feet apart. Hands onto the hips. Inhale to breathe into the belly and the chest. And as you exhale, reach the chest forward and fold yourself down, nice straight back here. And once you feel that stretch, remember both sides are different and should be treated individually. Once you feel that stretch, you need to hold there. You can either just drop your head or bring your hands onto your thigh or that right shin. I played some football, soccer, depending on where you're from today. And man, I need this. I can feel it in the back of that knee and on the inside hamstring. Something that really helps here is just to breathe into your belly, breathe into your chest, and to slow it down. Where do you feel the stretching? Can you kind of send that breath into that space? Imagine it expanding. Imagine yourself creating space. And as you exhale, you're folding a little deeper, letting go a little more. Let's take one more big breath in and out here. Now, if you feel like you've calmed down a little bit, you might like to try keeping that calmness here. Keep breathing through your nostrils if you can help it. Bend that front knee, step the back foot forward, and we're sweeping up into our chair pose once again. Keep your calmness if you can. And as you exhale, sink your hips back, reach your hands out in front of you. Long, smooth breaths into the belly, into the chest. Smooth exhales as you sink deeper. 2 more, breathing in. And exhale. And last one, really reach it up. And exhale, fold all the way down. Good, halfway lift as you breathe in. And as you exhale, I want you to bend those knees. And just fold yourself all the way down. Uttanasana, forward fold. Sway your hips from side to side. And maybe send your breath down into that lower back region. Feeling it expand one more time before exhaling to soften. From here, I'd like you to bring your fingertips onto the floor and lift your heels up off the ground. And then move your knees out to the sides. I'll face you so you can see. Move your knees out to the sides, move your heels in. Just drop your hips down onto your heels. Good, so knees wide, heels off the floor, sitting up onto those toes. And then from here, walk your hands out in front of you and you're kind of reaching them out as far as is comfortable. And then glue those hands into place, tuck your chin and allow the weight of your hips to move backwards. But glue those fingers into that space that they're locked into now. And just breathe into your back and the sides of your belly, sides of your rib cage. Sink those hips and heels back a little more. You should feel a really nice stretch here. Stretching into the calves too. And when you're ready, just lift your head up. Bring your hands onto the floor and slide yourself forward onto your knees. Cross your ankles over. Press into your hands. We've almost done it. We're so close. Bring your hands beside you. Come into your staff pose again. So your fingertips are pointing forward. Press down to those heels. Press down to the sitting bones. Press down into your hands. Breathe into your belly and your chest. And exhale. Tuck your chin. Keep that height here. We're going to bring our feet onto the floor. I'm going to scoot our hips. Move our hips towards our heels. And slowly roll yourself down onto your back. You might need to move your arms. You're going to find yourself in this weird position. Maybe you hang out here. Bring them out to the sides. And we're going to come into a bridge pose in a moment, but I'd like you to start by giving your knees a really gentle hug onto the chest. Don't hug them in too much because that's more of a forward fold. And I don't want us to go too deep into that. So hands onto the knees, just a gentle hug. That's it. Breathe into your belly, let your knees bounce off your chest. And as you exhale, a gentle hug in. Good, release your feet to the floor. Bring your hands beside you, fingertips touching the heels if you can get them to. And then press down into your feet, press down into your hands, your forearms, your wrist, your elbows. And then inhale, start to lift the hips up. And then roll the spine up off the ground, coming into your bridge pose. As you inhale, lift your hips up higher, press down into your feet more, move your knees together. And as you exhale, press into your hands, your elbows, your forearms, and let the weight of your body rest in your shoulders. And take one more big breath in and out like that, creating space in the front of the body. And as you exhale, think of rolling your spine down onto the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way from the neck down to the hips. That's so close. Nice. Give your knees a gentle hug into the chest again. And then bounce them off to bring your legs to 90 degrees. Arms out to the sides. If you don't have space, you can bring your arms into cactus arms. Take a big breath into the belly and the chest. And as you exhale, drop your knees out to that right side. And if it permits, For your neck, if your neck feels okay, look towards your left arm. If it doesn't, just look up. And instead of being super passive with the breath, you can do that if you want. This is your yoga practice, but if you'd like, you can also try, you might like to try, breathing deeply into the belly, breathing deeply into the chest, and treating this like any other yoga posture. And as you exhale, release. 2 more breaths here, creating space with the breath. And exhaling to let go. Last one. Inhale your knees back to center. And then drop your knees to the left. And look over towards that right arm if it feels okay. If it doesn't, look up. And take those 3 deep belly and chest breaths. Inhaling in. And exhaling out. And inhaling in. And exhaling out. Last one. Good. And then you can inhale, lift your knees back to center. And just release your feet down onto the floor. And bring yourself onto your mat in a nice, long, extended position for your Shavasana. You might need to shimmy yourself up or down. Hands by your sides. A yoga teacher once told me, if your palms are facing up, you're welcoming in energy. And if your palms are facing down, then you're grounding into energy. So you might like to ask yourself what type of energy you'd like to welcome into your world right now. Maybe what do you need? And make yourself comfortable. Make any little adjustments you need to make. Let your feet and your arms relax. And just breathe 3 deep breaths. Just notice how you feel, how your body feels, how your mind feels. And then continue breathing and just notice whether that affirmation that you set for yourself at the start of the class, if you did, set yourself one. If that still resonates with you now, and then continue to breathe and allow your awareness, your focus, the thing that your mind is captivated by. Sometimes it's thoughts and feelings and emotions and past and present things. Let it be the breath. Let's take 5 more deep breaths in and out together. Just following the breath as it glides down into the back of the throat, the chest and the belly, and all the way out again. Noticing its sound on the inhale and the exhale. Notice how far down you breathe, to the hips, to the shoulders, anywhere else. And just notice how you feel. And if you feel good, allow a little smile to pop up onto the sides of your face. Take one final big breath in and out. You can stay here if you'd like. On your next breath, you can wriggle your fingers and your toes, circle your wrists and your ankles. And on a breath in, extend yourself nice and long and hug your knees onto your chest as you breathe out. And then roll over onto your right or left side. Say left in the evening, right in the daytime. So whatever it is for you. And take a breath or two here to keep that connection with your mind and your body alive. When you're ready, make yourself comfortable at the top of your mat. Make your way up to the top of your mat. And come to a comfortable seat for one last moment. Hands onto the knees, sinking down into the hips. Breathe into your belly and into your chest. Inhale it in one last time. Exhale to soften your shoulders and your neck. Namaste. So I hope that you've really enjoyed the class. It's been a pleasure to have you here. And if you have any comments or suggestions, or if you have anything you would like to discuss, please leave it in the comment section below. Subscribe to this channel, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you so much. Namaste.